Hey, and welcome to this episode of My Whiskey Den. This week, we are going to be taking a look at, Panther Distilling and their release of the Pike Street.
Let's get into it. 1, 2, 3.
All right, and they are from Osakis, Minnesota. The Pike Street is one of the few Minnesota only releases, so you can only get it in that state. I'm gonna get one thing off my chest. Like, I feel bad for them already. I totally got this bottle. Nancy Baker got it for me when she was going through there. It is signed by the distiller, so I fucking love that. That's awesome. But this is $3.75. This is all they can sell at the distillery, and you get one. I feel like Minnesota is totally getting shafted by their government. Like, the 2-bottle minimum, like in Texas, I still feel like that's a little shady. But $3.75, and then I don't know. Like, I feel bad for you. I feel bad for all you Minnesota distillers. They should change that shit right now. You should at least be able to get a full bottle, if not 2 bottles. If I'm going all the way out to the distillery, bullshit on your government. But I do feel that way about a lot of different government issues. So it is 46% alcohol on this one. I'm going to put that down. Now, I did do a review of Douglas and Todd a long time ago. Yeah, I'm starting to get this up over Mike's head just like that. You can link to them. You'll get a little bit more information than what we're doing now. But they are Minnesota's oldest distillery. And that one they had partnered with the oldest distributor in the state of Minnesota for Douglas and Todd. But they were founded in 2011 by Adrian Panther, hence the name Panther. I agree, taxation is theft. Yeah, we all agree with that. I'm sure even they agree with that. But he hired Brett Ranger here as their head distiller. He's been working at a couple other distilleries at that point. They came together and really kind of thought they were going to produce something interesting. They are by the pristine lakes in Osakis, Minnesota, like I said. They are actually on top of an aquifer that keeps their water at 38 degrees year-round. So it pumps out of there. They get a nice kind of filtration system through it, keeps it nice and pure. They do expose this to the elements, where some of the other people up here in the frozen north sometimes have their stuff inside heated warehouses, or at least not freezing warehouses, where they kind of cut off at 45 or 40 degrees. They let it out to the full elements every year, just let it take the cold beating, just like a lot of other places do. So hopefully that kind of imparts some flavor upon it. They do run 3 500-gallon copper pot stills. So I'm always a big fan of copper pot stills. I think most of us are. They use American white oak for most of their aging, to age most of their spirits. Grain to glass, like a lot of the other craft people we're talking about. They use locally grown yellow corn, red wheat, and red rye on most of the mashes, and all of it is within inside of 30 miles of the distillery. So I know in the last one, the Douglas and Todd, they're using Minnesota oak barrels to finish it, to actually age it in. And that was one where I got a hold of Mitch. It was a Cooper at the time. He's a distiller at a non-disclosed location in Kentucky. But he explained about how the northern oak, since we have shorter seasons, just you don't get as much of the sugar notes out of the wood. You get a little bit more like of rye spice out of it. So remember, on Douglas and Todd, there was no rye. It was just corn and wheat, red winter wheat. And I was really surprised by some of the kind of the rye spice that I thought was in there came from the barrel. So this one is aged 3 years, or right in that ballpark. They're going to taste it, kind of keep it in that area. But usually about 3 years is what this one is aged in the barrel. So this one is a blend of corn and wheat again. So No rye in it when we're going to taste it. I think we'll leave that there. Like I said, a little bit more history on the other one. Check that out. But let's jump into some nosing here. Oh, and they have a cool panther on the bottle. I don't know if I can get it up here. I like their logo. A little circle with the panther. It looks like a badger, but that is a panther.
Badges?
You see it. You see it further away. It looks like a badger. You see it up close. It looks like a panther.
You don't need those stinking badges.
But yeah. So, woo.
I got blasts of buttery vanilla.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's got that. It's definitely got that pot still note going for it.
Yeah.
And mine's been in the glass a little bit, but right off, straight off the pour, you're talking about rye notes from the wood. That's what I thought this was. I'm like, oh, this is a Midwestern rye. It's got that kind of classic, almost furniture polished kind of note to it that I usually get off of Midwestern ryes, and there's a little bit of nice spiciness to it. But it's really opened up, and for me, what's jumping out, the pot still, but there's this like baked apple and spices, almost like an apple turnover or something.
Yeah, definitely getting the apple and kind of spices, not like a crumble, but like a, I don't call it like an overspiced apple pie, but one that's like the crust on top has got some stuff going on to it.
It's heavy with the allspice and clove, and there's a little bit of a red strawberry note to it that I'm getting there.
This is we were saying that I'm not getting like a Rua thing going on, but I am getting like a baked good kind of smell out of it.
Yeah. Oh, like pastry and fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, a heavy pastry.
And it's like a buttery molasses almost. It's
got a pretty good set of legs on it, that's for sure.
The more this spending time in the glass, the more I am digging the nose on this. I'm really enjoying this.
Yeah, it's starting to come alive, and I normally when I first had it just kind of jump into it because of neck pour. I don't give neck pours too much credit, good or bad. Like that's not usually. I don't usually try to rate you on that, but this is really kind of coming alive more than when I had it the last time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
This is much more better than the neck pour I had. That was a little flatter and stuff. Definitely, don't judge it on the first neck pour because this has stepped up quite a bit since then for me. Sorry, go on to what you're saying. I was surprised by what it was much better this time around.
Yeah, that took a total turn from what I was getting off the nose. I mean, I really it opened up sweet, a little bit of fruit, and then all of a sudden it was just this rich kind of fresh baked bread note that hit just hard right in the mid. I mean,
I
don't know. To me, it was a total left turn off of what I'm getting off the nose, and that was smart.
And then kind of the last third is where I'm getting kind of that allspice clove kind of kick up and a little bit of and trailing off on the end more, a little bit spicier. Then not like spicy, but spicier than the front 2/3 of it. Yeah, I'm really digging this now. Go ahead. Sorry,
if you didn't tell me it was a bourbon, I wouldn't guess it was necessarily a bourbon.
No. Nope.
Yep, wheated bourbon whiskey.
There's a little bit of grassiness that reminds me of a young rye, a little bit. And then you get those baking spice notes on the tail end of it going into the finish. And, oh, man.
I think that barrel is a lot of what the tail end of this and the finish is the barrel kicking through. That I find really interesting.
This is a unique weeder. I'll say that. I haven't had anything that weeded bourbon that quite compares with that necessarily.
No.
Get back in here. The front half is oily, kind of light, and then like Ben said, you're getting like a little bit of a strawberry fruit note, but like maybe not even a third of the way through, it's poof, like a buttery explosion, like you said, a buttered bread explosion in the middle, and then all that other stuff's kind of circling around on the tail end.
Yeah, it's like a butter and honey spread over a fresh baked wheat bread.
Yeah,
that's what I get on the mid on this, and it's that's delicious.
and the grassy thing you were mentioning, Mike, I think that's. Were you getting that on the tail end finish, or were you getting that
mid to the end?
Mid to the end.
Yeah. So, can I ask how much is the 375?
I think it was like $20, something like that.
Okay.
Not bad for.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's not. I mean, if it was going to be one of those where it's $50, because
no,
they can, but that I could see going through a lot of this.
I think when I looked at it online, it was maybe between $30 and $40 for a normal bottle. So not.
And this isn't very old, right?
3 years only.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a little more time than that, but I like it for what it is. I mean, for 3 years, I'm pretty impressed by it. But like I said, it's got me really intrigued about some of their other releases with if it's still using all that Minnesota oak in there too, or you don't have to use as much of it, rye or anything, if you're still getting some of those spices. But for only 3 up here, and not being a rye, it doesn't have a lot of green notes that some other places up here get when they'll release that between 2 and 3. Like I said, it's got a little bit of a green grassy note, but it's not pushy. Like it's in there. And there's some other ones we've had where that is like that note is kind of powerful, and that is not happening here.
And it's not bad. No. It plays along well with everything else in there, and that's what this has. Some just nice integration of the notes. I like what the mash bill's bringing on this with the grains. I love what the pot still adds to it, and then what that Minnesota oak, just the combination of all of it. It's a really interesting whiskey, and I'm really enjoying this.
Yeah, it's not. It's not like blow your doors off, high proof, high rye spice, everything else, but it's a lot of fun actually.
Yeah,
now I'm getting some maple syrup notes off the nose right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I was getting syrup that it's soaked into pancakes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you just nailed
with all the butter and
yes, you just freaking nailed it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
This is fun. I like this one. This is a lot of fun.
It's got a lot of different things going on to it. Like we're saying, it's got like you said, Mike, like the pancakes buttered on there, maple syrup soaked in, and I'm getting like on the nose, I'm getting like some strawberry on top of those pancakes.
Yeah, when you tell me a wheated bourbon, my mind goes cherry bomb and cinnamon. I mean, that's typically what I see out of like a typical Kentucky wheated bourbon. This is none of that. This is completely different, really, and it's really enjoyable, and it's just I think well done. I mean, these guys have done a good job with this.
Yeah, nice whiskey.
And you can tell, like I said, the Douglas and Todd, I was kind of impressed with too, and they really produced it. Like I said, for Phillips, I believe it was Phillips, was kind of like the production or distribution side of things. But I'm seeing some of the notes, similar notes, but that other one was a little more imposing, with a little more powerful with the notes in it. Where this is a little more cohesive on the flavors that you're getting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for 46, 46 isn't bad. No. Not saying that's bad.
It doesn't drink like it.
No, it drinks like a 40.
No.
Yeah.
It drinks really smooth. Low proof.
But then, as always, not to say it would be better, I would be intrigued if it was 52, 55.
Yeah.
What else you'd be getting, and kind of just to be able to compare like what that was at, to see if they pulled it down to a proof that was really exciting, kind of like a High Wire did, where we pulled it down and we think this is, they might not think it, but I think this one is a much better release than what maybe the other one would be at a higher proof. Even though you might be getting the stronger flavors, this is nicely balanced. Good job, Panther. I was gonna say, Adrian and what was it? Oh, Brett. And I was thinking they also have Brett's the master distiller. I think it's Katie. Give me a second here. I know I got that. Mary. Shoot. Like I said, too many distilleries, and we're trying to review a few of them in a night. I get people confused. So sorry, Mary. Their head distiller is a female. Mary Hough. I wasn't trying to get in trouble. But good job, everyone involved with this. This is pretty interesting. This is fun to drink.
I just added a few drops of water. It doesn't take anything away. Maybe brings a little bit more of that wheat, a little bit more of a bread note out of it than what is already there. But I don't notice a big change at all.
No, so, I noticed I had a little bit of water in the last of mine, and I got cherry on the nose real quick, but not on the palate at all. But a lot more of the wheat and grain.
It's for me, it's a little bit with the water. I added a little bit thinner up front, and the rye spice kind of peaked for a split second more, or barrel note peaked for like a split second. Not a lot, just a little bit higher than what it was beforehand. I think I like it a little bit higher at 46, but I mean we're talking nominal differences here.
Yeah.
Nothing
I'm starting to pick up a little bit of that cherry you talked about, Mike, right there in the nose.
Yeah, it's almost like it changed from a strawberry to a cherry. Like
basically.
I like the strawberry better. I like strawberries on pancakes better than like cherries. So I'm gonna go that route. But yeah, and for everyone out there, man, everyone's doing some different stuff with this whole virus thing. I've had to condense the den. I had to move stuff around. The wife's going to take over part of it. It's going to be the office den. I'm staring at where it's going, and I had to move a lot of bottles out of the way to make this shit work. There's some condensing going on in a cupboard and a couple other places. I still have like a half, or maybe like a third of the desk over there. That's mostly the whole wall. So I kept some of it. Kept some.
Yeah.
But everyone's making changes and sacrifices for what's going on.
Yeah.
But this was really good. We're at Panther. Congratulations. This is fun to drink.
That's
really
well done, guys.
Yeah, it's an entertaining whiskey.
Yeah.
With some of them you can just down whatever. This was fun, and that's awesome. But coming up on Monday, another fun whiskey, Dancing Goat Distillery. We're having Fred Swanson on, National Brand Ambassador for them. He is going to be talking about their barrel aging process, maybe some of the other stuff going on at the distillery. I know they're having an expansion going to put on. I was going to say a pretty decent sized one. So we're talking to him all things goat related. But
are you kidding?
No, I'll sing, and that could be like, we'll see, greatest of all time. We'll see what they put out. I mean, they've only got the dancing goat, but maybe they got some other goat related releases coming up here. So let's be some excitement with that. But until then, like this channel and then subscribe to it, and then if you have some free time, maybe leave a comment, talk to us. Is there a whiskey you want us to review or take a look at? Let us know. We can hunt something down. We can find it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different. Send us a bottle if you want to. We'll split it up. We'll put your name like we did with Nancy Baker, who got us this one. We're always appreciative of getting a bottle from someone. That's always great. So from, I was gonna say, until the next time we see you, from our den to yours. Remember, it's not the size of the den that matters. It's the love of whiskey. Cheers, everyone out there.
Cheers.
Cheers.
let's get into it. 1, 2, 3.